why I say, hello there, and welcome to episode 2 of Thomas Talks. Today we're going to be talking about James. First we're going to talk about my 2001 Gold Dome James. So 2001 was sort of the last year of the original classic TWR era that started out in 1992, and then they moved on to the much fatter, sort of more complex Thomas items in 2002 and brought in the traction rail system. His details are very simple. He lacks his gold lining and he doesn't have a whistle. Now he's the 2001 version, so he's got the plastic smoke box. Now I actually really prefer those because I think the funnel just looks a bit better. One thing to say about these original Thomas Wooden Railway models is the face is spot on. I mean, that is James the Rail Engine. Prove me wrong. His face is incredible. His tender is not actually his original one. No clue what happened to his original one. But I picked this one up in an eBay lot, which I got a Rosie, Henry's Forest log car. A lot of things in that lot, so some of those will probably end up in another video. Anyway, back to this tender. So, yeah, it's actually from the traction rail James, but I don't think they altered the tender in any way. Also, it came with a 1996 James tender. Now we can have two tenders and be like a very crap Flying Scotsman. So there's what I believe they call old-style James, or at least Thomas Wooden Railway calls it old-style James. Now to take a look at Mattel James. He came from Toys R Us, rest in peace. I don't remember what I paid for him. This was just before Thomas Wood came in, so I probably got him on sale quite cheap when they were clearing out the old items. No, I didn't. I got him about a year or two. I don't remember when I got him. 2016, I think. So still very much bit old for this stuff, but hey ho, that's how I've always been. So yeah, he's got much better detail. He's got handrails, gold lining. And you can see he's got his own whistle, which I'll show in a minute. And yeah, he's also got those rounded edges that Mattel did. I don't really know why to make it. I don't know why they rounded the edges actually. There's his whistle. His face is the sort of standard CGI James face. It looks nice. It looks like Mattel's interpretation of James. Yeah. I don't know, there's nothing I can say about this one that I haven't said about 2001 James. Now this is the Ertl James. And I never remember them being this small. Maybe it's because as I've gotten older, my hands have gotten bigger or something over the years. But there, he's quite small, I think. I think the earlier Ertls from the 80s, late 80s sort of to early 90s, they're a bit mixed. You had some good ones, like Bill and Ben, they were very good, and Duck is really good. But then you had guys like this. Is it me or is this firebox too wide? And then, in general, I think he would have benefited from being a bit longer. Which is weird, because usually, in my mind, the Ertls, I always thought they looked a bit too long, like the Gordon and Thomas models. I think they're too long, but James is too short. I will say the state of the lining on the cab really is... I mean, what is that? What is that? It's just completely wrong. It doesn't go around the window. And it's not got the flat bit that it's meant to have. It's just wrong. His face is pretty good. I think his eyes are a wee bit too big, but... other than that, they're alright. The faces in the earlier Ertls. The Gordon face was very good. But James's face, it's just alright. We'll leave it at that. And finally, we've got the old take-along James. Now, because this wasn't trying to be as prop accurate as the Ertls were, or as simplified as the wooden ones were, he's sort of squashed up. Well, that's what take-along's always been about, or Trackmaster Push-Along, or Take and Play, or Adventures, whatever your generation is. He is the only one out of my sort of collection of Jameses that has cab detail, even if it is very simple. One of the only things I really, really, really think is wrong with this model, because I know it's not meant to be super detailed or anything, is the fact that half his boiler, well, more like a third of his boiler, is taken up by a smoke box. I think his face, it kind of reminds me of like Bachman Percy. I don't know, it's clown-like, I suppose. As Simieski called it. I've heard some nasty things about Simieski, so nostalgia is kind of ruined. Yay! So that's my little group of James models. I used to have a Hornby James, but his motor exploded, and this was when I was really young, so I didn't know how to put a new ring field in him or anything. It was just a glorified toy to me, because, as I said, I wasn't very old when I had him. Wonder where he ended up. I think we just sent him back to Hornby. And also, actually to my side here, I've got a Tomy Trackmaster, whatever he is, James, but his battery corroded. I lost his cover and his tender's falling off. I figured you probably wouldn't want to see one that was that beaten up and ruined. So I've got two ideas for my next Thomas talk. This hero model, can you see what's wrong with him? Which you see all the time on the internet, but I'm the only one that I think that's ever I've ever seen one in the wild. Or what is objectively the worst Ertl model. I don't know. Maybe I'll do neither. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.